Have you ever felt stuck in a cycle where your brain just won't shut down, even when you try to focus or rest? It feels like every notification, every video, every quick stimulus steals your attention and energy. When I was 20, I had days like this. I'd wake up tired, spend hours on my phone, and feel like I never made any real progress. Until I discovered a method that, in just a few days, made me feel like I'd completely rebooted my brain. No complicated tricks, just practical strategies. The result? More focus, clarity, and enjoyment in simple things that once seemed monotonous. And before you think, oh, but I don't have the time or discipline for that, I thought the same thing. The key is that it's not about willpower. It's about intelligently reorganizing your stimuli and habits. You'll understand exactly how to achieve this mental reset without suffering and without having to give up everything you enjoy. Now is the perfect time to start, because every day you spend in this cycle of distractions is one less day of productivity and true enjoyment in your life. And I know exactly how you feel, because I've been there, tired, overwhelmed, trying to absorb everything without being able to apply anything. This video will show you, step by step, how to install success in your mind starting today. And it's simpler than you think. Sometimes you open your phone just to reply to a quick message, but before you know it, 40 minutes have passed without even remembering what you were looking for. It's almost as if your brain has gone on autopilot. This feeling of loss of control isn't unique to you. Many people experience it every day. And let's face it, it's distressing to realize that life is passing you by while you're still glued to a screen. The problem is deeper than it seems. Have you ever noticed how what starts out as just an educational video turns into a click marathon that saps your mental energy? I've even found myself sitting down to watch something productive, only to look at the clock and realize I'd wasted almost 2 hours on distractions. This isn't a lack of discipline. It's a design designed to capture your attention. And the worst part is that the longer you spend watching, the harder it seems to regain focus. It's like eating fries at an all-you-can-eat restaurant. You know you don't need that next order, but your hand is already shoving another one into your mouth before you can even think. This is the invisible trap that makes you feel tired, unproductive, and at the same time, unable to stop. But there's one detail that almost no one notices. And when you understand this detail, the game begins to change in a way that changes everything. Your phone seems harmless when it's in your pocket, but it's like a small slot machine within reach. Each notification rings with the promise of a reward, and your brain gets used to waiting for it. I've even caught myself unlocking my phone without knowing why, just reflexively. And when you add up all those quick glances, you realize you've wasted hours of your day without even realizing it. This is the kind of time stealer that disguises itself as a necessity. A practical way to break this cycle is to limit your daily screen time to just 1 hour. It sounds radical, but when you set up a screen time blocker, you quickly realize how precious minutes you were wasting. I started using my computer to respond to work messages, and I realized my phone wasn't as indispensable as it seemed. At first, it feels empty, but soon that emptiness gives way to mental clarity. And that's when you begin to regain control. Think of your phone as a toolbox. You only open it when you need something specific, and you're not constantly looking at it. This simple adjustment already creates a ripple effect in your life, drastically reducing invisible interruptions. And when you eliminate these microdoses of distraction, you have energy left over to focus on bigger tasks. But of course, cutting out your phone is just the first step, because there's still another sneaky villain to face. Have you ever logged into YouTube to watch a single video, only to find yourself in a content marathon without even remembering why you started? This is the trick of productive procrastination. You feel like you're learning, but you don't actually put anything into practice. I've been there myself, thinking I was becoming more productive just by watching productivity videos. It's a vicious cycle that gives you the feeling of progress, but doesn't move you an inch forward. Therefore, the rule is clear: no YouTube for the next 7 days. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. Not even my videos. Because if you just watch and don't apply, you're wasting time anyway. It's like watching hundreds of cake recipes without ever turning on the oven. You feel the illusion of knowledge, but you're still hungry. Detox is about breaking out of the cycle of endless consumption and finally experiencing the real results of taking action. When you cut out YouTube, you free up time to use those hours for something practical, writing down a shelved idea, reading a book that can change your mindset, or simply devoting more attention to a meaningful conversation. This cut isn't about demonizing the platform, but about reclaiming the power of choice. And if going without videos for a week already seems difficult, wait until you see how another type of stimulation, much more intimate and addictive, may be draining your energy without you even realizing it. This is a delicate point, but perhaps the most transformative of all. Cutting out all artificial sexual stimulation for 7 days. This includes pornography, OnlyFans, unrealistic Instagram profiles, or any other content that manipulates your brain with easy rewards. It seems harmless at the time, but the effect is devastating. You train your brain to seek immediate pleasure instead of creating real connections. I've personally experienced how this type of consumption drains energy and takes away the enjoyment of simple things. The problem is that this type of stimulation hijacks your motivation. After a while, your brain needs increasingly larger doses to feel the same pleasure. It's like adding sugar to everything. At first, it sweetens, but then you can't taste the natural flavor of the food. When you cut out this excess, it may be uncomfortable at first, but you soon notice a mental clarity and energy you may not have felt in a long time. This is one of the keys to a true reset. A practical way to start is to clear your follow list and avoid content you know could pull you into this spiral. Follow only people close to you or content that truly adds value. At first, it will feel strange, almost as if something were missing from your day. But this absence makes room for authentic experiences, for real connections. And it's precisely this recovered energy that prepares your mind to take the next step, which, by the way, can be much simpler than you imagine. When we think of meditation, many people imagine a monk sitting on top of a mountain in absolute silence. But the truth is, you don't need that. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day, sitting in a chair or even lying in bed, focusing solely on your breathing is enough. I myself found it very strange the first few times. It felt like a waste of time, as if I were standing still for too long. But after a few days, I noticed that my mind began to slow down in a way nothing else could. Meditation is like hitting the brain's reset button. You create a space between stimulus and reaction. And in that space, true self-control is born. It's in this space that you learn to better choose your actions instead of acting on autopilot. Try it. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and count to 4 on the inhale and 4 on the exhale. It sounds simple, but this practice regulates dopamine, reduces stress, and increases focus. It's almost like oiling the gears of your mind. Over time, these minutes become a refuge, an inner place you can return to whenever the world seems too noisy. The most incredible thing is realizing that by practicing calm, you gain speed in real life, less anxiety, more clarity, stronger decisions. And it's precisely this mental state that allows you, after just 7 days, to begin to feel palpable changes in how you see the world and react to it. After a week of following these rules, something changes almost magically. The little things in life which previously seemed monotonous or dull begin to bring genuine pleasure. Drinking coffee, walking down the street, listening to music, or even reading a book becomes different, more intense, more vivid. I myself was surprised to notice how my attention deepened on simple tasks that had previously gone unnoticed. It's as if my brain had been recalibrated to feel real satisfaction. You also realize that the small doses of dopamine, previously insufficient, now work. A compliment, a small victory, a meaningful conversation, everything has a much greater impact. The feeling of being in control of your own mind is liberating. I felt this clearly when I was able to study for hours without opening a single browser tab or feeling the urge to check my phone every minute. This is proof that resetting works and that you can regain the focus you lost months ago. What's more, productivity stops being just effort and becomes enjoyable. Time that was previously wasted on invisible distractions now yields concrete results, and you feel like you're truly making progress. It's a silent but powerful transformation that sets the stage for bigger habits and even more significant changes. And it's precisely this energy and mental clarity that naturally lead to the next step, the cycle of healthy habits that solidifies everything you've started. The most interesting thing is realizing that even after just 7 days, you already feel like you can maintain healthy habits without much effort. Sleep, exercise, reading, and focus stop being difficult tasks and become natural choices. I myself noticed that by waking up early and sticking to my routine, my day was much more productive, and that feeling of mental fatigue disappeared. Discipline stops being an obligation and becomes a silent ally working in your favor. Maintaining these habits isn't about rigidity, but about consistency. Small daily adjustments create lasting results, and each positive action reinforces the previous one. When you realize you're in control of your mind and your time, everything around you starts to fall into place. Even the simple act of turning off your phone for a few hours becomes a personal achievement, demonstrating that you're capable of resisting stimuli that previously dominated your attention. And it's precisely this sense of autonomy that gives you the confidence to push your limits even further. Every healthy habit, every minute of focus, every moment of simple pleasure creates a domino effect that transforms the way you see the world. And when you realize this, you're naturally prepared to continue the cycle, increase your productivity, and derive more pleasure from the small victories of everyday life. If you've made it this far, you already know that small changes can yield huge results. Now, the next step is to put everything into practice. Like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. Comments are also welcome. Tell us which of these rules you'll apply first and share your experience, because your story might inspire someone else. Additionally, I have a suggestion that may further accelerate your progress. Check out the video, Build a Mind So Strong It Scares People, on the final screen. It complements everything you've learned here and shows you how to transform discipline and focus into concrete results. Watching isn't enough. Applying each insight is what truly changes the game. Remember, the power to transform your mind is in your hands. Every choice, every consistent action, every distraction-free minute builds a more focused and productive version of yourself. So don't waste time. Start today, share your achievements, and keep following content that truly elevates your mindset and results.